And welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
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 Oh,
Hope you've had an exciting last week because. Oh. Well, that is absolutely perfect timing. I will be 1 second. Okay, I do apologize for that.
It's all right.
Yeah, no, I ordered food. It's like your delivery will be here at 3:30. This is not 3:30.
Lo and behold,
It is 3 o'clock.
'tis early.
I'm not complaining. Anyways. Last week we had dealt with a pit full of spiders and a spider person in a more literal sense.
Some of the spiders were delicious.
I
And
think
they
they
were
taste
alright.
so much like crab.
We picked up a Grigori.
hi.
The
And
Batman.
now you're all
We recruited him via the time-tested methodology of assuming he had already joined our group.
Yes, Shanghai.
Yeah. Here we go, Grigori.
And now you're all sitting at a table together in a tavern. Last we left off, if I'm not mistaken.
Talking about if Grigori really actually wants to go with us or not.
Yes.
I do.
Oh, good. I don't really want to kidnap people to join our group.
It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
For so
I
many
just forget
reasons.
to actually do the asking.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Somehow not surprised.
Yeah, you get stuck in new friend mode and forget to confirm that they are okay with your
Friend
adventure
request.
request. I was going to say adventure request. 'Cause you're
Well,
usually
yeah.
good about waiting for the confirmation on their friend request. It's the adventure request you're bad at remembering
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyways, Grigori. Our plan was to... most of us are waiting on letters before we leave town.
Okay.
And then we were going to head down to Gostier and then head into Adult Tiarna to head over to Vellos' here home area from there. And then I think from there the plan is to somehow get to Levane for Bruno. There's Bruno's got something going on with a mystery involving his father.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll probably be doing dungeons and delving on the way through all of this, of course, because, you know, funds and all that.
Yay.
So does any of that
Fellow
conflict with
Snickers.
anything that you need to get done, or because obviously if our route and path doesn't work for you,
Not that I know of.
how long were you with your previous group?
It was my first one. So,
You had just joined them.
yeah. If I recall, we just left, and then we got attacked. Left the city, that is, and then we got attacked.
Yeah, that's rough. So you're pretty good. You don't have any like outstanding plans or anything that you need to get done? Well, while we're in Mansque, before we leave?
No, because that was my first delving team. I just left the Astral Sea, ended up here, then I left with them.
Oh. Wait,
Well, if you
just
didn't have
left
any-
the Astral Sea?
Yep, that's where
What
I'm
about-
from.
Wow.
Yep, that's my hometown. I lived there. My bat race lived there for as long as I can remember. Given I'm only 21 years old.
Huh.
Yeah, we batch ages just as fast as humans, as the brethren, give or take.
That's pretty much most of us.
Yeah.
Really.
Other than Vellos, I think. Dragons are
Yeah.
weird.
As a DM note, functionally the only immortal in your party is Vellos.
Oh,
I don't
Everyone
know
else is
if
going
I
to live. Everyone else shares a lifespan similar to humans.
don't
I think
know
with
if I've
kobolds,
ever
it's a
heard of
big
an elf.
question mark, if I remember.
A little bit.
I don't know if I've ever heard of an elder dying of old age.
Fair enough.
Well, my parents are at
There's-
least a few centuries.
Vellos, the closest you've heard of an elder dying of old age is when dragons finally grow bored or depressed enough of the beast world and leave back to the astral plane, or not astral, ancestral world.
Hmm. I guess the closest thing would be an elder getting bored enough with the beast world to migrate home to back to the ancestral homeland. But even that's fairly rare.
that's pretty cool.
Well, then I guess it is definitely a welcome to the team then. If you don't have any route that you need to take specifically.
Nope, I'm just. It was my first one and it went bad. Then I met you guys. Well, thanks for saving me, by the way, if I haven't said that.
Of course.
Sure.
As I take a sip of my rum.
Just as real quick, Grigori, can you bring your mic closer or something? You're coming a little bit quiet on my end.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Yeah, that much better.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my mic was hanging down
That's all right.
by my chin.
Ah.
And as you guys sit around talking over the table, the general...
Except
the
for
general
Lantern, who
sound-
passed out last session and is still unconscious on the table.
Most of
Right.
you.
Forgot Lantern got shit
Lantern
faced.
is so small. She drank so much.
Yeah.
She had like 2 shot glasses of whiskey, but she's 3 feet tall, so that's kind of a lot.
Every now and again, waitstaff does come by to make sure Lantern is still breathing and hasn't vomited all over the table or floor. During the general... They try to make it look like they're checking up on your table, see how things are going during the general busyness of the late afternoon shift. But you can tell quickly the big thing is checking to see if the kobold is still alive.
Hey, quick, well, Okay, the fourth waiter who checks on you ends up getting drunkenly blackout hugged around the legs when prodding.
For that, give me a con save.
Oh god, she got snuffed. Let's find out.
Nat 1, nat 1, nat 1.
It's an 11.
Okay. You aren't so much blackout drunkenly hugging him more than ragdolling.
It's completely muscle memory. It's something has gone into the arm's radius. Better make sure that we hold on to it so we don't lose it later.
Combined
Oh,
with
no.
a general stimulus from an actual contact.
Yes.
And yet, still surprisingly, you have not blown out your contents. You haven't purged.
Oh.
Though after that, you are kind of asked to get your kobolds situated. It's not like, hey, you guys gotta go, but more like, hey.
If she has like a carrier or something, can you like get her in the cat carrier and?
Though much politer, like, hey, could you please get your drunk friend home?
All right, I'll get her back to the wagon.
Actually, do we want to leave her alone in the wagon? Because
That's
I'm having images of what will happen when she wakes up alone in the wagon, probably either still drunk or possibly hungover, and decides to do something.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Stay with her. Hmm. And with that, Vellos is gonna pick up Lantern.
You do not have any difficulty with that. She's like 45 pounds.
I think she's lighter than that, but yeah.
33 pounds.
I knew it.
But probably 45 with all of the incredible amount of random shit she has in her
Oh,
pockets.
absolutely. All of you guys can readily add a good 30 extra pounds to whatever weight you are just from all the junk you're carrying.
Yeah.
And she's carrying so much junk at all times that she is, in fact, when you pick her up, rattling.
It's mostly Vellos' scales.
I wouldn't say mostly. I'm keeping strict track over how many of those she has, and she has a lot more random shit than that.
I'll believe
Yeah.
it.
How many pockets does she have hidden under there?
Oh, we got a lot of cool rocks.
Mostly right now it's trinkets and knickknacks worth up to 6 silvers for all of it.
Oh.
So planning out for tomorrow, do we want to try to get a lead that will take us in the direction of Gosser?
I thought we were
Or
going to
do
do
we-
wagon upgrades.
Oh yeah, that's true. And of course we have to wait for letters.
Yes.
Mhm.
I need to talk to Owepijet. And she kind of gives Bruno a guilty look and says, I need to ask him some questions about Bryce.
Yeah.
Who is Bryce again?
Her
My
brother.
oldest brother.
Oh.
He died when Joaquin was supposed to have been killed. And now I'm
Mhm.
starting to wonder how much of that is really true. And if he was actually killed in the war or...
It was something else.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Bruno
sorry,
gives her
Bruno.
a sad look, sad but understanding look. I get it.
Yeah. She's giving him a very guilty look.
Don't feel guilt. My father was
trust-
involved in this. Then he deserves anything that you can drop on him, especially if he had a hand in Bryce's death.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, a weapon jet said he wasn't going to go anywhere, so we don't have to rush.
I know, but
Are you
I
wanting
just
to
I started
contact him?
thinking of it.
But
Well,
you're impatient.
we've contacted him and he's responded.
But I mean, are you wanting to contact him again? That's more of a question to Bruno.
No, we can wait until I can wait until we get there.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know. Do you have that spell?
Um,
I think that's a spell you can take.
yeah, but I don't think I have it prepared.
Well,
And apparently I forgot to hit launch game, so I'm not actually in roll 20 yet.
Good job.
So
yeah, okay, it is one you could take.
yeah, I'm not surprised I can take it. It's just my curiosity is, do I have it prepared?
Sending.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Dori who contacted that weapon jet, right?
It was.
He is, but I can have it.
Yes, clerics, bards, and wizards can all have sending.
Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently, great old one, warlocks.
Well, that's
What, level
because
3?
you need to be able to text Cthulhu.
Actually, I do have it prepared.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I did not think I had that prepared. I'm still not using it, but
that's fair.
Well, that's a whole different matter.
Yeah. Well, since we're already down a kobold and a dragon that's babysitting her, should we retire for the night and work on the wagon tomorrow?
That is logical. And therefore, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Now, I, as the DM, have a question for you all.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, it's nothing catastrophic. It's a couple of days until you get your letters in. Do you guys want to just kind of speed through those couple of days? Maybe throw out a few rolls to see if you can get work or earn some cash around town, or do you just want to have your characters treated as a little vacation and cut like 10 gold from everyone's inventory and vacation expenditures?
Lantern is 100% going to try to sell potatoes.
Do you have any more potatoes?
Well, no, you buy the potatoes and then you spiral them and then you sell them once you've spiraled them.
That's fair enough.
And they look
acceptable
awfully
move.
cool. They look so cool
Vellos
when
is
we were there.
probably
on
going
Sunday.
to try to find smithing work just to sate that desire.
Okay.
And then while we're also doing all that, we can also discuss what wagon upgrades we're going to be getting. It's just obviously a bunch of the furnace stuff, but
Absolutely.
exactly what we're getting.
Yeah.
Have to decide on the flywheel.
Hey, some of those flywheels can be really good, but also expensive.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, there's 4. The steam powered, which will be expensive to keep going with the firewood. The wagon powered, which means we can only use it while the wagon's moving.
That basically gives you 8.
Air compressor.
The air compressor is a bit of an odd one.
I think that's meant to be more of a connector piece.
Yeah.
Like, if,
Yeah, this forces air through an outlet to operate some furnishings, but doesn't say what furnishings.
Yeah, so,
it would be
any
stuff like
furnishing that
the...
requires a flywheel. But, yeah, that one's more of like if you ever get the interior expansion for your wagon to have a second floor, that's for, like, running a hook up to a machine above it kind of deal.
Okay.
Or just the machine adjacent to it or whatever.
Makes sense.
Because obviously for the furnace, we're pretty much doing the wood-fired hybrid, which will be 25, which will take half of what we've got. We're probably going to get one more base, which will be another 800, just so we've got the room.
Oh, did we need just one more?
I'm not sure how much space we were getting. It's been a week. If we do 2 more, that'd be 16 right there.
Dace, could you be so kind as to bring up the mock-up?
Yes. But also no. There you go. For player's eyes only, you have 4 spatial cubes off to the side. Don't worry about things not being labeled. I labeled them for my own personal reading.
Yeah, I think we were looking for 3 more squares, if I'm remembering right.
Please keep a note that the two things on the edge of the wagon are lights. Or not lights, they're windows.
Windows.
So however you set up the spatial interior of your wagon, those windows must always be facing those sides, interior and exterior.
Right.
I would think if we're doing this, we're just going to plop 3 in the front.
That works.
Oh, I was thinking of extending the left
Make
side.
it a 4x. Start making it like a 4x4.
Yeah, I was thinking of extending the left side below the window by 3, and moving the dorm to the other side to make space. Since we can move that furnishing as we...
Operating horses and get horse tokens.
Or we could just do it on the right side, rather than moving the dorm.
True. I guess we don't have to be. I guess we don't have to be really. I guess we don't have to care about the stuff being like close to the water barrels or anything. So or the water tank.
All right. Well, we only have 5,812. If we do 3 spaces, the furnace and the wood fire, or the wood fired hybrid, which gets us all 3 of the things. That is 49, which leaves us with 900 left.
Right. And
please bear in mind when you're getting hybrid equipment that you may have to share a workspace, and that may not always be feasible.
My assumption is that basically if Vellos wants to use it, Lantern will cede the space immediately.
those would not be using it during meal times or anything like that. So,
Well,
if she's doing a spontaneous cookie bake, she's not doing this while there's any smithing that is even being talked about.
Was that this?
Part of the reason I'm pointing this out is simply for the sake of some of the things Lantern if Lantern wants to get into more complex cooking options, which can eventually start giving the party buffs and boons, that process is going to take as long as a typical forging process.
Okay, so we'd have to.
So you'd
We'd
have to
have to work
schedule around
around
each
that.
other. You may have to schedule around each other with hybridized equipment. And it's not so much the fact that you're using the forge, she can't use the oven. It's a case of limited workspace.
If you're sitting in front of there pounding with a hammer, it's going to be really hard to reach in there and get muffins.
Functionally.
True.
Which,
Plus, it'll make the cakes fall.
also the fact that a forge gets way, way hotter than an oven gets.
Yeah.
Imagine if the left side is a forge, then the right side is the oven. You have to share the workspace around the forge and the oven. A flour-covered worktop does not bode well for a blacksmith, and a worktop covered in iron casings does not bode well for a baker.
On the other hand, this is another thing that is probably worth pointing out. Just because this is what we are getting now doesn't mean this is what we have to use forever into perpetuity. And if we want a starter kit so both of us can like groove around with it a little bit, and then we decide, yeah, this isn't working and want to upgrade later, that is like very plausible.
It's entirely possible that later down the line, when we have a much bigger wagon and much more resources, we could just get a second furnace.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's that right now we have no oven and no forge, and even if there are all of the issues that Dice has pointed out with using it simultaneously, it is a lot better than no oven and no forge.
Yep. I'm just saying, for the immediate moment with the size of your wagon, you're going to have to schedule around each other.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Which, I mean, hey, for now, I can't even really use it as a forge. I need the smithing workstation, so...
Exactly.
So for the time being, cupcakes take precedence.
Which we do not have the money to get this time anyway.
Oh, what a cupcake.
Yeah, we can... I think for now we can get the space for the furnace and the furnace itself, and maybe a flywheel?
Well, we're not using it without a flywheel. So...
Yeah, but since the flywheel's pretty cheap, we could always get that when we get the smithing table, and put what was furniture attachments or components cost.
Well, again, I don't believe that the furnace combination thing works without a flywheel, so we will need that if we want to use it.
Yeah.
No, the furnace doesn't need the flywheel. The smithing station does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the furnace. The furnace
smithing smithing glass blower needs a flywheel, plumbing, and a furnace.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we should get a nice flywheel later.
Don't we have the plumbing now?
We do. We have a water tank.
We do.
That's right.
You have a water tank with a filtration system, and so you've had to get plumbing. You've had to get the infrastructure for plumbing installed.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what those 3 barrels in the bottom right corner is. That's our water tank.
Forged for a decently big one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with this we could probably look at other fittings or anything else we might want. Anything grade 2 we can't afford with 900 because we need 1,000 for anything grade 2. And our iron axle is 4th level.
Yes.
Which means
for the sake of everybody, it is an 80-gallon water tank that you have. a lot of water for anything you may possibly need to do.
It's fittings.
Yeah, the fittings. We don't have enough to do a grade 2 fitting or component at the moment.
No.
Not really. So I think we should get the stuff we've talked about, and then maybe try to make more money before we start figuring out what else we need.
Sounds reasonable.
Well, with 900 left over, do we just want to go all in on 4 spaces? 4 cubes?
I wouldn't say no to that. I love spaces.
Since you're gonna be getting all this space anyways, and it'll make it a nice even square for our wagon.
Yeah.
All right, which side?
Yeah, I mean,
which side are you looking at that space on?
the left side to even it out a bit.
This will put your wagon out of commission for the rest of the day, for all of tomorrow, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that brings us up to...
Which tile set did I pull these out of?
So, expend the left side and
8 cubes.
Now, here's an important question. Do you want your barrels? Your window and door in your dimension dorm door are obviously going to get moved. Do you want your barrels to be moved along with the wall, or do you want them to stay where they are? Or your water tank?
Well, that depends on where are we going to be putting the furnace.
In the new section, I think having it where it already is would work, because that's already going to be close to where the furnace and kitchen are.
Yeah, and the hybrid takes up a 5 by 5 by 10.
It takes up 2 squares.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if the forge needs to be next to the furnace, so I think
the forge doesn't necessarily have to be next. Let me check, actually, before I open my mouth.
it doesn't say anything about adjacency as far as I can tell, but...
No, but there's always that area of what would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it needs the furnace near it, so...
Okay, furnace... Okay. Oh. Here we go. First, choose a fuel type, then choose a function, or all 3 by choosing the hybrid furnace. So you choose how you want your furnace to be fueled, then you choose the function between boiler, forge, or hybrid.
Yeah, we're going with the hybrid.
So the furnace and the furnace is the forge, or the hybrid, or the oven.
Yeah.
So they are the same structure, is what I'm...
Yeah, so the forge, the oven, and the boiler are all built into one.
Yep.
So they do have to be next to each other because they're the same thing.
Yes.
Well, they don't have to be next to each other. They're all one thing.
Yeah, but it would need to be next to the smith and glass blower. That's what I was...
That's what you meant.
Oh.
Yeah, I was looking over...
You know something that we should buy that I think would make that a lot more usable, that I think will be less expensive than anything else we could buy? A table.
A table would be a reasonable acquisition. At the moment, y'all have been using your laps.
And we could put the table next to the forge, and it's a counter.
How much is the table?
Well, there's a hidden table. There's a fold-out counter. There's a
I like fold-out
insert table. There is the outdoor fold-out table, which we probably don't want.
This PDF is loading really, really slowly,
That's because
but
there's a lot.
It is page 361.
thank you very, very much. That page has not loaded yet, so I was not finding it successfully.
There's a few complex mechanism tables you can get, or you can just get like a regular table and request it to be bolted to the floor.
I like the idea of a fold out, but if not, a regular table and then they bolt it to the floor works great for Lantern. This is a way better counter than what she has been using, which is the floor of the wagon.
Well, we can definitely afford the fold-out counter at only 40 gold pieces.
Yeah, I think that's probably...
Because that is 10 foot in a wall. That's what it takes up.
Yeah, we can.
Which is basically the full vertical height of the wall.
Yeah. Now, it only seats 4. Only 4 of us could sit at it at the time.
Yes.
Well, we could always invest in another one later.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we could.
So we probably want stools too, or something. Seating of some kind.
We are running out of money.
The cheap option is looking to me like cushion top crates,
Yep.
which are also storage, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad idea.
Okay. So, somebody give me a list of everything you want purchased, and then later on we'll go about renovating the interior of the wagon.
So we're just getting 4 crates.
Well, you guys already have.
Yeah,
crates. You guys already.
Yeah, but these have cushions on them, so you can use them as seats.
Or you could just buy
It's cushion top crate on page 360.
Ah.
Yeah.
You want specific crates.
Yes, the ones that you can use as chairs.
Okay.
Technically, you can use any of them as chairs, but these are actually designed for the purpose.
These will not make your tailbone hate you.
Yes, exactly.
Granted, Dori's tailbone doesn't typically care because she's got the shortest tail of the party, followed by.
It's also probably going to be comfier for all of you riding in the wagon if you have a place to sit.
This is true.
Yeah, a little bit.
And if we have the table, then people could hypothetically use that when they're studying things on the way to things. I'm just saying, cushions and a chair would go a long way towards making this wagon a home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so. With that, who's ever writing that down, feel free to send that to me whenever you're done. As we move to the next day, people wanted to do things.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm going out bright and early trying to make an honest buck.
Vellos is looking for forge work.
Okay.
Lantern is going to rotate some potatoes and sell them to people.
Yep. Dori's going to go see if she can't find a place to do some busking.
Okay, let's start with Vellos since you spoke up first. Go ahead and... How are you going to look for work? How are we doing this?
Probably probably stop by Smithy's, I would think.
Okay.
I mean, you had that one place where they...
True. But that was decent
It's
money.
not the kind of work he was looking for.
Oh, okay.
Making
It was a-
making a few hundred nails is rather monotonous.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a, just go ahead and give me a persuasion check since you're more asking about.
Okay. What the hell gets for that? +2. Okay. 22.
Oh, nice.
Not bad. You're able to readily find something more along the lines of what you're after, as you are
Yay.
directed towards a blacksmith you've come across a few times. As I bring up my notes, hang on. As you're more directed towards a place called smithy called the Resonant Anvil, which is ran by a fairly large wolf, even by Lupin standards, who
Okay.
is presently looking for work to help with an order of producing arms and armor for the Mage Guard.
Vellos would happily apply to something like that.
And he's not going to be against getting help from a silver. While that's going on, Dori, you said you were going to look for an area to busk.
Yep. She's kind of looking for the well, she's thinking either a tavern or in the area where they're selling, the food carts outside.
Well, in your particular case, you've got taverns to choose from, and the market, and at the very least, there is the market district within.
She's going to start off with the taverns.
That's easy enough. Go ahead and just give me. That'll just be for you. Just give me a performance check.
Performance check? Okay.
Yes.
$15.
Average enough. Ouch, that roll though. And then
Crap roll.
Lantern, it's gonna be the same thing with you, but for cooking.
Get your potatoes. Get your rotated potatoes. The perfect vegetable with the perfect shape, a spiral. We all know it's perfect.
Go ahead and throw in a performance roll while you're at it, just for that.
Oh god. Not my forte. Okay,
doing
dexterity
both.
and performance.
Yeah. So your cooking is obviously going to be dexterity proficiency and also performance roll. And we will combine totals.
Say 14 on making potatoes.
Not bad.
Finding out my performance skills. Okay, she's not very convincing because she doesn't know what she's doing and she's just yelling that potatoes are the perfect food, basically.
Which is
factually
correct.
It is correct, but that doesn't mean that the people want to hear it.
This is true. But we'll get back to you in a moment. Anybody else? Grigori, Bruno, Fiona?
Bruno's not going to try doing any more gambling.
Yeah, Bruno will.
You know what? Fiona will go with him.
Oh
Here.
dear.
Oh, this will be exciting.
She hasn't done any gambling.
Fiona's
Their
just
own
hoping that if
money.
there's gambling, there's also back alley street fights.
Potentially, yes.
Unfortunately, there isn't.
You never know. Sometimes it could happen.
This guy is trying to run a proper establishment while avoiding taxation.
Okay,
So
well,
nope.
maybe
Nope.
there's brawls in the establishment, not outside. You never know. Sometimes things get heated when there's gambling.
Mm.
How much are you guys looking to lose?
Fiona will be looking for a card game specifically, and let's see. She'll only go with 20 gold pieces, so she's not gonna go more than that.
Okay.
I just want to.
Because she's looking more for a potential brawl than to actually gamble, but she knows she's gonna have to gamble while she's here.
Yeah. And Bruno?
I just want to make sure I didn't miss the handing out of how much gold we each got from that, because I don't remember remember it, and it's not.
We didn't give anybody any gold from that.
Okay.
Nobody got a cut of that money.
Just wanted to make sure, because if we got some, that would change how much I was gambling.
Yep.
We got nothing.
So I'm not going to go over 25 gold.
Okay. In that case, I will. Are you either of you going to try and cheat?
Fiona, no.
Give me a second. I just need to check.
Because that will influence what dice rolls I have you make.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I will take performance rolls from both of you.
I am proficient with playing cards.
Go ahead and give me that with proficiency instead.
Okay.
Actually,
What am I rolling with?
You'll be doing
playing cards.
Go ahead and give me with wisdom.
With wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That actually helps me.
As playing cards are more of a game of bluffing and inciting of bluffs. Run with wisdom.
So performance.
What game
Am
are you
I also
playing?
doing it?
What kind of game are you doing, Bruno?
We'll do cards.
Are you
Not any
proficient in
specific
them?
one. No.
Alright, let's stick with performance.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a horrible roll.
Ow.
I had
At
a
least
straight
it wasn't
roll,
a
and I still
1.
did better.
Alright, and then Grigori, are you looking to do anything around town while everyone else is functionally spending
No,
the day
not
away?
really.
No?
No.
You could. Do you have well, let me ask you this. Do you as the player want to do anything? Have your character do anything around town? Or do you need your options explained to you?
I'm gonna walk around town and look around.
Okay, you're gonna go ahead and walk around town and look around. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. And I will get to you guys in order on things, starting with okay. Your perception. I'm going to. What is your
Perception
perception?
a straight roll for you?
Go ahead and type in your character sheet. Skills, perception.
Perception.
Yeah, his perception is a straight roll. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, fair enough.
All right then. Interesting. All right. Let's take it back from the top with Vellos. Go ahead and give me your blacksmithing roll of strength.
All right.
As you are set to work with hammering out of hammering and fitting out the blades for halberds and fittings for armor.
Another
Okay,
22. Okay.
Nice.
give me a religion check. As you find yourself going into something of a trance under the song of the hammer in the flames of the forge.
Ooh. Right. Okay.
Unfortunate. It's not so much a trance than it is just finding a work rhythm.
Yeah, just really getting into the zone, I guess.
That's what it is. Let's go ahead and take things next to Lantern. I already had you do your skill rolls. I'll get to your gold in just a moment. Fiona, Bruno, can you roll me D100s?
Oh dear. All right.
Yes. That could have gone significantly worse for both of you. Neither of you walk away with any winnings, but you lost what you were willing to put down.
Fair enough.
Bruno, it's unfortunate, Bruno, you rolled so low. A little bit higher and you would have at least broke even. But that's how gambling goes.
Yep. So I
Grigori.
lost the 25.
Yep. Grigori, as you wander the market streets of Mansque, you do see a few things that catch your eye between street sellers and a few other street performers.
Okay.
Small crowds gathering around those who are more actually talented in the art of spellcraft for show than they are just the typical Mansque citizen flaunting their magic. The tension is absolutely off of you in these areas.
Okay. I'm going to look at one of the closest performances that I can see.
Okay. One of the closer performances, he has a small crowd of people around him. He is a canine of more coyote lineage, and what he appears to be doing is juggling balls of fire.
That's pretty cool.
And as he moves between performances, he even goes as far as to catch some of those flaming balls in his mouth before adding new ones to the throw or using his mouth in part of the juggling act.
That's cool. Okay. I'm gonna keep walking, look for another performance.
Okay. Let's see while that's going on. We will go ahead and get to Lantern here. Let's see here, fairly average. Okay, I don't roll for you. And then to multiply that. Ouch. All right, Lantern, you were going to walk away with 9 gold for that.
You know what? I'm still very satisfied with myself on this. Lantern is pleased as punch with her 9 gold. Although she is really admiring Dori way more because the ability to talk loud enough that a big crowd of people actually notice you is a skill, and she hadn't quite realized how much of a skill it was.
Mind you, that's 9 gold after your purchasing of lard and salt and potatoes.
I'm assuming that's my profits. Expenses are already taken into consideration.
Yeah. Dori, you also walk away with 9 gold because somehow under different rolls I rolled the same thing.
Okay.
Lantern will be very excited if she learns this because then we're 9 gold twins.
Yeah, sounds good.
Vellos, who's taken on a more focused profession. To be fair, at least you two walked away with what's essentially 9 days paid for the average Alamencian.
Oh yeah, I moved a lot of fucking rotatos.
And probably upcharged. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, Vellos.
Okay.
You have... For your quick and effective work, and the, we'll call it something of a... I'm losing the word, but basically for helping fill out work orders for the town guard at an accelerated speed, you have walked away with 108 gold.
Oh boy, okay.
Nice!
Vellos is very pleased with himself.
That is not going to do anything but inflate Lantern's admiration for Vellos.
Yes,
Vellos,
absolutely.
you also do end up kind of smelling like a forge and covered in the appropriate amount of soots.
Looking a little more gray than silver, I take it.
A nice matte finish.
To be expected.
And Grigori, as you're wandering through town, it's more of these, not necessarily the same act, but a lot of it's more of the same. You do find yourself at one point walking past Dori's auditions. As she seems to be one of the few more musical performers in town. Or at least in this part of the market.
Okay. What was Dori doing again?
She's doing
She's
more...
a musician.
Yes.
Yeah, she's singing.
Musician.
Singing and
okay.
playing.
Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna walk. Is she still singing?
I'd say it'd be closer to where people would be finishing up with their various acts by then. So, if you wanted to wait around, she'd be done herself soon.
Okay.
If she sees you, she'll give you a big smile.
I'm gonna wave
And-
hi.
Hi, how's your day been going? Seen anything interesting?
Yeah, there was a wolf juggling fireballs over there.
Ooh. Yeah,
How are
not
you,
my
how are you-
thing.
Sorry. How are you doing? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing well. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm a performer.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Well, do you need help with anything?
It's probably about time we start heading back to the wagon, seeing how it goes, how it's going, collecting everybody.
Okay. Well, I'll follow your lead.
Sounds good. Fun.
Okay.
She'll kind of hook her arm into his.
Which you find is a little bit more of a difficult task as you run across his wing membrane.
Oh,
I'm gonna giggle.
oh well.
Oh yeah. Did you see that? You know.
You guys probably get back to find Lantern flipping her shit with excitement over how well Vellos did.
I'm
Vellos for his
impressed,
part-
fellows. Very
Vellos for his
nice.
part would probably have stopped by one of the bathhouses to clean up the grime.
Well, I mean, you certainly earned enough money to do that.
Certainly.
Ooh. Yeah, it was refreshing. Been a while since I've really gotten into smithing like that.
Well, I am glad they
Or-
recognize the genius in front of them.
It's always nice to do what you're really where your core is at.
Lantern nods vigorously as a very devoted chef.
Fiona's kind of half pouty because nobody got into any fights. She is sad.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sure we'll get into fights on the road.
Oh, that's
We'll find
pretty
people
much
for
a
you to beat up.
guarantee. But
Um,
it's fighting people is so much different than fighting monsters, you know?
Maybe you'll be able to
Sometimes
find
just-
some street brawls and go there.
Maybe. I don't
Or that's
remember
your
if
number.
Ghostier had a fighting arena or anything like that.
You don't remember. You never really looked for one, if I recall
No.
correctly, but you do know Gosier is so much more a Delver city or Delver reliant city that you probably could easily find a couple of more sanctioned fighting pits.
Or unsanctioned ones.
Either one, really.
Well, as fun as those would be, probably not a good idea because they take badly to losing sometimes.
Yeah, there is that.
I have never been to one of them, but I heard a story, and I don't understand what happened in the story because I do not know what a drunk tank is.
It's a jail cell where they put you if you get drunk and you do things that annoy the police.
Oh, that explains a lot about that story.
Huh.
Do we want to know? Actually, no. I don't want to know.
It wasn't me. Why did they
That
call it a
makes it
tank?
worse.
There is no water in it.
I have no idea.
Lantern here secretly admitting to her dreams of being a fish.
Well, if she was a fish, she could swim with Vellos.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know, maybe fish have some things going for you. Maybe think before you cast aspersions on an entire way of life. The fish way of life.
I'm gonna do it anyways, because fuck the ocean.
I think I can change into a fish right now, actually. I do think I can change into things with a swimming speed at my
speed,
current
yeah.
level of Druid.
There you
Gonna
go.
have to keep that in mind.
Let's see here. I will get. So the message sent is, I assume that's the upgrades you're all getting. Yep. Okay. With y'all are left with pennies. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will get those placed down within the wagon when I can. I'll go ahead and slide you guys back up to the world map. And I assume that would be it for the day, as you all go ahead and settle in for sleep at an inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Okay. As you all settle down for the night, Dori,
Uh-oh.
you're all familiar with the dreaming realm. The dreaming,
Yes.
where your mind wanders when you sleep. Dori, you're standing, instead of in the usual artistic space that your mind lends to, you find yourself in a field of fog. You see a figure off in the distance.
Uh-huh.
Do you approach?
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach the figure, while it does grow in size, you are still unable to make out what it is aside from a bipedal form. It does not appear to be facing you once you finally get up to it, and it is about your height. It is shrouded in darkness. What do you do?
She's going to sing one of her favorite songs.
Okay, so as you sing to the being, it slowly turns around to face you. Its head appears to be covered in a cowl, but you can see two soft, glowing yellow orbs where its eyes would be. It slowly approaches you before holding out one of its hands, though the sleeve extends past the hand.
She's going to reach her hand out to it.
Okay. It gently cups your hand between its hand and its other, and in a masculine voice, as it leans forward and speaks, it says, "You have a very beautiful singing voice. I so do wish to hear more." And with that, you wake up in the morning.
Huh.
You feel a significantly closer connection to Spell Talent.
Okay.
I will give you the information in just a second.
To what spells?
Spell Talent.
Oh.
Oh. I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, it's completely fine.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
this is cool. Strange men coming into our dreams. What could possibly go wrong?
Especially when after the dream you suddenly feel closer to your dagger.
Yeah. The dagger that lets me do my part with my friends.
Closer, like physically, or closer, like you've formed a deeper bond.
A deeper bond, like a friendship, like a growing friendship.
Don't mind me while I add notes.
Bruno starts to shiver for no reason and knows Dori is doing something stupid, and he has no way of stopping her. All he knows is his Dori senses are tingling.
Don't his Dori senses tingle constantly, though?
Which is why he has no way of stopping it, because he doesn't know what's setting it off. And he thinks it's just her usual nonsense, not extra nonsense.
It's fine.
Oh my.
Hmm.
Oh. Okay.
The shivers are enhancing.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm increasingly frightened myself.
Bruno, the window to your room is open, and it is cloudy with a light drizzle coming out.
Concerning.
Well, he feels as if it's a hurricane levels of wind and rain. That's the shivering he's dealing with.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's fine.
It's
Come
fine.
on.
Oh. Cool. Cool. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So, you go through, as everyone's going through their morning routine, Bruno looks like somebody has replaced his spine with a rod of ice.
What's wrong, Bruno?
Bruno.
Hit the wrong button. Sorry. I was chewing on something. What have you been doing, Dori?
I spent yesterday earning money playing.
We just woke up. How could she be getting into trouble?
I woke up
Not
5
that
times in the middle of the night, and she was asleep during all of them.
Okay.
I
Because
mean,
my
I
Dori
hadn't-
chaos senses have been tingling all night, and I didn't
I
sleep
had a
well because of it.
dream, but you know,
That usually doesn't set off my chaos senses, and now I'm concerned. But I don't know what to do
she's
about it.
she's just going to give you a completely, totally confused look.
He's going to stroke his chin and go, we'll get back to this.
You are a paranoid boy, Bruno.
I grew up with you. And I'm
I
a
tell
priest
you
of
when I'm doing-
Verostas.
And I tell you when I'm doing something that people think I shouldn't do, don't I?
Yes, you do. Which is why I'm very concerned right now. Because you haven't told me that you are knowingly doing something that people would say you shouldn't be. Which means now I'm worried you're unknowingly doing it. Which is worse. And I have no way to stop that.
I think we're both just worried about, getting back together with the weapon jet and what he's going to do.
I'm going to hope that's it.
Okay. She's going to patch on the shoulder.
Because I do believe what you were saying.
Hey, Dori, once Bruno is done being weird, could you please warm up this cup of tea? It went very, very cold because I dropped something under the table and it took me way longer to get it than I thought it was going to, and now it is cold.
Certainly, and Dori will do prestidigitation and warm it up for you.
You are cheerfully thanked.
Well,
Just because Bruno's being weird doesn't mean that a nice hot cup of tea isn't always welcome.
the day is already off to an interesting start.
Isn't it always with us?
Hi, Vellos. Bruno thinks Dori is up to something, but Dori does not think Dori is up to something. It seems like a pretty fundamental disagreement to be having.
Bruno is paranoid because he's always sure I'm about to get us into trouble.
How often was I right?
About half the time. The other half of the time, it was you getting us into trouble.
A young but somehow grizzled individual walks past you guys grumbling about how Delvers are always getting into trouble.
This was before we became Delvers.
I don't think that's going to change his sentiment.
No, it isn't. But it does kind of disprove. It does kind of mean that his point has no bearing on the conversation.
Not necessarily, because you are the kind of person who became a Delver.
Indeed.
Yes, I am.
Because I also always got into trouble.
Fiona says, I've been a Delver I've been a Delver about as long as I have been doing anything that I know that I've been doing, so I couldn't say.
Okay, before this develops too far, how long does this argument last?
Probably not too long, because if we're sticking around for a couple of days, somebody's got some potatoes to sell.
And Bruno would have pretty much left it there going, yes.
Okay.
That is true. Usually by trying to stop you.
You two remind me of
or by getting into trouble by trying to con somebody. I'm sorry, Vellos.
I think the answer is these two argue indefinitely while the rest of the people get up and go about their day.
It's a rather amusing sense of deja vu.
Or as you guys are leaving the inn to go about your day, you do hear a small commotion.
Uh-oh.
Commotions are interesting.
Commotion. Despite commotion usually have a negative connotation. You hear a small...
Fiona will look over.
You hear a small... It's a wave of conversation rippling through basically the crowd in regards that a second dragon is in town.
Oh.
With some speculation of, is Mansque himself up to something? Is there something else going on?
Well, now my curiosity is piqued.
You are able to quickly catch on with a little bit of asking that it is, in fact, a second silver.
Oh, Vellos is very interested now.
Yeah, Dori wants to tag along and see what's happening.
Lantern definitely wants to see this guy, but I think she feels like she's more likely to organically come across somebody while she is selling potatoes. So she's going to try to sell potatoes unless she hears word of this dude's specific location, whereupon she will bail and go see what he's doing.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. and you're attempting to get set up in your permitted area.
Absolutely. I'm looking at what I need to do for that now.
What's everyone else
Fiona will probably go help Lantern today because she doesn't think if she goes back to the gambling den, there's going to be a fight.
Okay. And Grigori, what are you doing?
I'm going to. Grigori is going to follow the masses with you guys because
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I got a 15 on the perception check to use the buying and selling of potatoes as an excuse to track down a dragon in town.
Okay, so you were able to quickly pick up on the fact that the other dragon is potentially still at where mail is sent and delivered.
Maybe that's a good place to sell potatoes until I find more information.
You will run across the rest of your group on the way there.
I will cheerfully wave at them and ask them if they would like to buy a rotato.
Sure, Dori will give her.
Businessman at
What
heart.
what do the rotatos cost?
I think they're overpriced, but not ridiculously overpriced. So probably like
A silver.
silver.
Silver. Dori will hand you silver and ask for a rotato.
You get a nice big one.
Okay.
I think Vellos is honestly too focused on finding this fellow silver.
Which, as you guys get to the... We're just going to call it the post office, even though it's not really that.
The Temple of Post Office.
That's a Shrine of Yithrus, which is more of a library / coffee house where the internal system originally meant for scholars became publicized after misuse. Who didn't see that coming should have known better. Anyways, it's easy enough to spot a silver dragon. Vellos, it's even easier to spot your brother.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah.
However, as you see him, he's got a look to his face. You can immediately tell something is wrong.
Oh shit.
And he seems to notice you as quickly as you notice him. He starts making his way over to you. As he's holding a sealed letter in hand, though he's not holding it in a way that would suggest he's going to hand it over.
Okay. Hey, Zeke.
Vellos, you can be very hard to find sometimes. I wish we could go with the usual pleasantries today, but that's not going to be the case.
Sounds serious.
It is. He says, tapping the letter in his hand before holding it in both hands as if considering something. Lana's run off.
Excuse me?
She's run off. She's gone missing.
Oh.
She does not want to be found, it seems. Attempts to scry her location have routinely failed.
Did he say mom or Lon?
Lana, my sister.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Our father and mother, wanting not to panic you, we're going to completely leave that out of the letter.
Figures? Oh. And here we were going to head in the direction of the nest to pay them a visit.
Well, that will have to wait, unfortunately. Though I suppose if you had started heading in that direction, you would have definitely found out.
Probably.
As he moves,
She
he
didn't give
tears the letter in his
any.
hand in half. So what was that?
She didn't say anything? Lana.
No. I don't think she left any note or said what she was planning on doing. Though I will say that the last few times I had visited, she had been growing in frustration. Something has been bothering her. And I wish, at the very least, she'd spoken to me before doing anything like this.
Yeah. All seems to be in a bit of shock right now as he's processing this.
In a way, I get it. I understand why she would want to. But I just wish she'd had said something first.
Yeah, I get wanting to fly the nest, but
She's also taken the curio she brought back with her.
oh damn, I was kind of excited to see that silly thing.
It's loud, shall we say.
Uh,
Mother's not really a fan of it, but
I'm sure Dori here would have loved it.
Oh, is
which
this
one of you
that-
is Dori?
That's
Uh,
me. Dori will kind of. raise
As
her
Bruno
hand.
is pointing at her.
I think Lantern has been shamelessly eavesdropping the entire time, like without even trying to hide that she is shamelessly eavesdropping.
Every
I
time
think-
you
Oh,
glance
Fiona
down,
is
bless
also
her.
not hiding it.
It's not like they're being quiet either.
Right?
Well,
well,
I need a minute to rest, but after we're done with the conversation.
alright.
Did
No
you want to go
problem.
speak at a tavern or something, or just keep talking out
No,
here in the
I-
middle of the street?
This is fine. If I sit down, I'm not getting back up. I have flown straight here.
Oh my.
Oh.
That's a long flight. Yeah.
The first interaction Lantern has with Vellos' brother is reaching way, way, way up to offer him a water skin.
It takes him a second to notice it, and when he does accept it, he only hands it back after it has been completely drained.
Thank you, Lantern.
No problem. I hope that helps Mr. Vellos' brother.
A little bit. I have
Are
a
you
few
hoping-
ideas of where she could be, but
Well,
it's going to be which way you
if there's
guys...
anywhere you want us to search, then
Well, she's either somewhere here in Elements or over in Glassroom.
Huh.
I have a few reasons to believe that. But wherever you guys want to search, I'll search elsewhere.
well, our plan had been to visit the nest, then swing down to
Levain.
Louvain. I guess we can. I guess we can start heading to Louvain instead and search on our way.
Alright then, I will I'll go ahead and start with Garcia, then move my way through Glassroom and looking for her.
All right. Dori and Bruno can both use sending, so they can. If we find anything, we can let you know that way.
That would be helpful. Otherwise, he says, reaching into a pocket on his person and pulling out a small and intricately carved stone. Even with sending, He hands it over. It's one of my sending stones. This will allow for a
Okay.
little more consistent ability to communicate on anything you find.
Will do. I hope she's okay.
Well, she's definitely something because she's actively resisting scry attempts.
Did you have any idea what she might have gone to do or why she left? Just frustrated, or is there something specific?
Something was frustrating her, that much I know for sure. I just don't know what.
Is this your older sister or younger sister?
Younger.
She's the youngest of us.
Is she old enough to be out on her own?
I'd argue that she is. Though I feel, he looks over at Vellos, you and our parents both might think otherwise.
That age. Okay.
Well, actually doesn't
And-
look like he knows how to answer that.
And she's the youngest of you?
Yeah.
It's such a pain being knowing from experience, it's a pain being the youngest and being ready to go out and having everybody else tell you you're too young.
Lantern is jotting down notes as Dori speaks.
Well,
So,
not quite how I wanted to introduce you and our folks to my friends.
do things ever actually go in the way we intend?
No, typically not. One can hope, but
In my many years of studying artifice, things usually take a few attempts before they go how we want them to.
well,
Now I hate to cut things short on you, brother dearest, but I need to go find a place to sit down and probably pass out for a little bit before I head back to Glassrune.
yeah, no, that
Dori will say, we can offer our wagon
No, it's,
temporary because we're waiting for letters before we take off. I think we're still doing that.
well, I do know a few couriers came through already, so maybe you might want to consider taking a look.
Yes, absolutely. Because once we get those, I think we're hitting the road. Right, everybody?
yes.
More than
please.
likely, yeah.
Oh, actually, that reminds me, I almost forgot. Along with the sending stone, in case. Are any of you capable of scrying magic yet?
No, I'm not.
Alright, never
I don't
mind
know
then.
about Bruno.
A little bit of wishful thinking. I had brought her favorite paintbrush with. You know, the one she spends more time chewing on than painting when she's focused.
I remember.
Yes, there isn't. Lately, there isn't much of that brush left.
Yeah. There's only one. I don't have it prepared, and its effective range is only a mile. So, and even
Well,
then,
if we get close, it's still better than nothing.
and it's not person, it's a location. And I don't think it moves, so.
Ah, damn.
Good for looking at the other side of a door that's locked, but. Or underneath rubble, but.
Not good for finding someone.
Yeah. Good for checking enclosed locations that you can't easily get into, but not for wholesale. And it takes 10 minutes to cast, so.
Yeah, that might not be too helpful. But
Yeah.
No.
something to consider regardless.
My limited abilities with magic do not extend towards that.
Unfortunate, but...
Yep.
Well, that's the news I have become bearing, he says, as he finishes shredding the letter he was holding.
It's,
Also, our father and mother say hi. And glad to
That
hear
was
that you're
their
still
letter to me.
alive.
that was their letter to me, wasn't it?
Yes.
Huh.
I'm not going to give you false pretenses that everything is fine, Vellos. You should know that.
Fair. Yep. Guess the family visit's on hold.
Well, we could always, if we're going to go straight to Levain, we could always stop by Golden Tide and visit mine.
Honestly, more places we can search, the better.
Yep.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good thing is, if she looks like you, she probably stands out a lot. And so if she stands out a lot, we can ask people if they've seen a silver dragon lady and maybe find her faster.
Wouldn't be a hard thing to do.
Certainly a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I've noticed folks like us aren't super common.
Not the most common. That's a little detail our parents kind of left out when it comes to dragons and the rest of the civilized world. There's not a lot of us hanging out in the civilized world.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. In this city in particular.
So if you're looking,
No,
for
it was the little
more-
farm town.
So if you're looking
Yeah, you're
for
kind of a
more-
legend over there.
Oh, dear.
Not another word, you two.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. They'll forget in a couple of months or years. If you're interested in coming across more company of our own kind, though, somewhere hidden in the mantle is a small township. Well, I should say a village. That doesn't matter too much.
Where did you say it was?
In the mantle. Though its
Lantern is
location-
writing this down.
Its location is shielded from scrying, so you'll have to look for it on your own.
Oh, I'll have to keep that in mind. Where the hell is the mantle on this map?
It is north
It's right
of where we are.
between- Yeah, right between
map.
Elements and Aurea.
Oh, the mountain range.
Yeah, it is literally just north of where we are.
There
Oh,
we go.
well, if we're ever exploring the mountains, I'll have to remember to be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright, well, I guess our first destination will probably be Fort Kingsfang then, on our way to Golden Tide and then to Levain.
Probably not Fort Kingsfang.
Something going on there?
Military. That's Elements's one of Elements's military training grounds.
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
They skip that and head to Golden Tide. Maybe stop by Mole Mill. Well, we want to hit different towns on the way, so
It's
Or
going to
other-
be quite the stock up for that kind of a travel.
If you don't mind me, I'm going to go take my leave and
No.
probably sleep for the rest of the day.
no, get some rest, brother. Thank
Rest
you
well,
for the
Mr.
news.
Vellos' brother.
And with that, with a wave, he turns and leaves from your group.
With this, Lantern ducks down and finishes furiously scrawling out what proves to be an entire letter.
Uh,
Good thing we're right outside the post office, because she's probably going to go in and send this thing right away.
And that leaves you guys standing right out in front of the post office, now with the knowledge that you have both a dead man and live woman to chase after. If there's any benefit to this, it's that dead men don't typically move around a whole lot.
This is true.
Typically.
If he's actually dead, which
And if he hadn't become undead.
yes. Or something worse.
There's worse than undeath.
You could be an HOA owner.
Come on, don't get gruesome. Content warning on the campaign, man.
I just hope Lana hasn't gotten into trouble or fallen in with a bad crowd or some crap like that.
How much younger is she than you?
Good question. 1 sec. Where the
Thank you for sending me that. I need to dig out some of my other notes.
where did I? I think she's still in her 20s.
Dori kind of gives you a look if you say it that way. That's too young to be out on your own. And she kind of gives Bruno a look.
I did not hear what the age was.
In
20s.
her 20s.
I have a question.
Also off at that. Yes, Lantern.
How do you tell how old you are?
Most people count. That's going to be harder for you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Let's go in and
Number-
see if our mail has come.
Hey, Lantern.
Yes, Fiona.
Do you remember when you hatched?
No. Well, I mean, I remember it happening, but I don't remember what time it was because I didn't learn about time until later.
Do you remember if it was cold or hot?
It was in a cave and very cold.
Fair.
But it was
That
in
really
a cave,
doesn't
so
help.
that really doesn't help.
No.
Wet also. Very wet, very cold, very under, mostly dark, but some stuff glowed. So you could sort of see if you were looking at the glowing stuff.
Okay. Well, most people calculate their age based on how many cycle of seasons have passed.
Yeah.
And so for every 4 cycles of seasons, you're 1 year older.
I spent most of it in the cave, so I do not
Yeah.
think that I knew what the season was then, and I don't know if I can count how many of something happened when I didn't know what it was then it was happening, or how to count it.
Yeah, which is why it would be harder for you to calculate your age.
Yep.
Yeah.
One,
You must know, Dori, this is my 40th year.
one cycle of cities.
Oh, my.
Seasons is a year. Somewhere between 15 and 108.
That's a very large range.
She beams at you.
No kobolds could get that old, or if they
Oh
can.
boy. Well, as you guys go in to check for mail, yes, yes, your mail has finally arrived.
Yay!
Yay.
Which I will go ahead and start distributing that out right now to those of you who have letters to receive.
Mail!
Except for Vellos, because Zeke shredded his.
Yes.
To be fair, can you blame him?
No, it's still funny.
Your brother has decided you don't need mail. He'll just tell you the mail.
Brother has decided you don't need false pretenses.
Her name's Lana?
Yes.
Boom. Okay, excellent. I do adore all of you realizing Lana's 20 years old is not allowed to leave the nest yet.
Yes.
And that Vellos is 40.
Yes.
And
Now,
had only just left the nest this year.
Dori is going to scratch out a quick note on a piece of paper and send it to her parents.
What was that?
I said, Dori just scratched out a quick note, which you should see. I just put it in the chat.
Okay.
And send it out. And then she's going to read her letter.
Lantern is going to read the letter, scribble a reply to it, and then include that with what she scribbled outside to send both to the same guy.
Okay. Scribbling, scratchings, existential dread, all in a day's work. There we go. All right. So what's the plan of terror?
While they're reading letters, Vellos is actually scratching out a note to his folks.
Okay. If we're going this route, do we want to say take an early break or keep going?
I think taking a little bit of a break here would probably make sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you go in like 15-20 then.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Welcome back from break, everyone. After that little bombshell.
Yeah.
I try to keep things at least mildly exciting. What can I say?
Yeah, that was quite the bombshell.
Well,
Family drama.
nothing to do for it, but get ready to head out and start looking, I guess.
Yep.
And Because it looks things you plan on heading to Golden Tide first.
Probably. So I'm going to shoot you the letters on the off chance they get to town before we do. I'm just working on typing them real quick.
Oh yeah, how much do I owe you for the postage? Because Lantern does shove both of these letters she's written into a package to send.
Okay, so I've done the numbers and the counting on that. It's gonna run about a couple silver on postage.
So like 3 silver?
A couple, just 2.
2, okay.
Okay.
Lantern will happily pay 2 silver for postage.
Yep.
As will Dori.
Because when you really sit down and look at the mass amount of mailing that gets sent to and from, including proper scholarly correspondence, 2 silver is more than plenty.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're just sort of adding it to the pile.
Effectively. And it keeps the postage system from being overwhelmed by... Well, I should say it still allows space for private couriers. Rather than public post.
Also, it's just expensive enough that people probably aren't sending junk mail and chain letters.
Exactly, and that's the big thing.
I don't know if they get enough of a return on it. People will always be sending junk mail.
What was that?
I said if they're getting enough for it, people will always send junk mail and chain letters.
Yeah. Dori,
2 silver, they're probably not making enough on it.
Dori, you would know that in a localized system like within Louvain, junk mail and chain letters are a problem. But when it comes to between cities, it's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Because why do they care if people in a different town that takes 3 days to travel hears about their general store? They want people in town to know.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Alright, how are we looking on, provisions for...
We could use more.
We have 52 gold pieces to buy provisions.
We got about 30 pounds of ingredients left.
And as you remember...
We also do need hyena food.
Yes. Your hyenas can't graze.
Right, we need dried meats for them.
They took one look at that grass and was like, what is this bullshit?
But yes, first order of business should probably be buying provisions.
Yep.
Okay.
And Lantern is looking to buy about, let's make it 25 pounds of cooking ingredients. And I'm just going to say, about how many days off is Golden Tide that we're heading to?
Okay.
How many?
You don't be able to answer that.
Since you know your hyenas are capable of covering 30 instead of 24 miles in a day. We're looking at 190 miles off.
So that's a little over 6 days.
No, that's
Okay.
That's
For a week.
there.
Yeah.
I think Lantern would like to buy, let's make it 25 pounds of cooking ingredients for our meals.
Okay.
And let's make it 2 weeks of hyena chow.
Vellos will offer to
Now,
help pay for the provisions.
Fiona,
And so will Grigori.
looking at the map, you do know there is a junction gate between Fort Kingsfang and Petri. But you don't know if that's publicly accessible or not. And you know Pack 3
Fort-
is...
Forts Kingfang and Patrie are nowhere near each other.
No, but Fort Kingsfang is significantly closer to Mansque than Golden Tide.
Yes.
But Patrice, what? Where's Patrice?
Tree is the center of.
Patrie.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, my own avatar was covering it.
Hang on, let me give you guys the map back.
Oh, we have the map.
No, the other map.
No, I mean we have it on Roll20.
I mean the one that's zoomed in. This map.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but you do know that Golden Tide is 100 miles off from Pack 3.
I think we should generally plan to sort of maybe scoop around from the north. Because if it's between Fort Kingsfang and Patrie that we're not sure is publicly accessible, then going north of Fort Kingsfang seems like it'll take care of that.
Well, what he's saying is that there is a junction from Fort Kingsfang to Patrie, which has a teleport place.
Got it. Okay, I missed that it was teleport. I thought it was a physical barrier of some sort.
Yeah,
It is a junction gate. It is a gateway.
but
a
at the
means of
same
travel.
time, yeah, I don't know if we could get to Golden Tide there, and I think it's probably just as easy just to go straight to Golden Tide.
Yeah, because I don't know if that gate is publicly accessible or if it's just for the people in the army.
Yeah.
I don't think that would save us any time. Teleporting from Fort Kingsfang to Patrie would put us further out of our way.
Well, then you teleport from Patrie to Golden Tide.
Or just to Louvain.
Well,
Well, I think if we just drive it, we have a better likelihood of finding stuff along the way that might be interesting or lucrative.
or
Oh, it's an
Lana.
option.
Yeah, it's mainly because mainly because we're not sure if we could even access the gateway or the junction at Fort Kingsfang. I would be in favor of heading to Golden Tide.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, you know that it's going to be along the way.
Sure, I mean, I guess we can, since it is on the way, I guess we can ask them when we get there. When we get there.
An important question then would be how much does it cost?
It's like 20 gold a person.
I
Plus
do
our
not
whole
think that this
wagon.
would be worth it.
Check.
Hmm?
Give an intelligence check or a history check, either one. As there is a junction gate in Louvain, so a knowledge on its operation is somewhat expected among citizens.
Lantern has no idea how anything works. They don't teach you how to do things in caves.
16.
Okay. Easily enough, you know that it's for a Delver team. It would probably be closer to 20 gold for the entire crew.
Oh.
Plus wagon.
Plus wagon. Yeah.
Lantern is still inclined to go directly there via wagon, but we all know that ultimately she's going to vote however Vellos votes.
Well, I am fine with going home.
Vels is fine, at least seeing if it's a viable option on our way to Golden Tide, but might as well be prepared to make the trip to Golden Tide directly if it's not.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, about how much am I going to owe for 25 pounds of cooking ingredients and 2 weeks of hyena food?
Okay.
In addition to this, she is also going to look for ingredients for a special project. You may remember that several sessions ago, we got recipes from a dungeon from the dwarves. And one of them is for a twice-baked potato recipe that uses sausage, meat, and herbs commonly found around here. And she's going to get some of that and make us all a big special dinner the first night of our expedition. Because we're going to have an oven, so she'll be able to bake potatoes.
And that can just be part of your general purchasing.
Yeah.
You need a reminder on how much it's going to cost to feed your cackle draft animals.
Feed the giggle ponies.
What was that?
Their names are
Feed the giggle ponies.
Yes, the giggle ponies, the cackle.
The giggle ponies.
The cackle horses.
The Snicker steeds, absolutely.
Snicker steeds. I like that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, as a reminder, it is going to run you guys 2 copper for a pound of chicken, or just general things that the butcher doesn't typically sell, and usually gets turned into like feed for more carnivorous work animals.
Like the ones we have.
Yes, except not typically that big. You remember the first time around you went to purchasing, the butcher just wanted to come out to verify, and was like, "Why do you have horse-sized attack animals tied to your wagon?"
And furthermore, why are they covered in beads and lace?
Followed up with, "Right, you're delvers. I shouldn't ask these questions."
Answer: in a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's more just a case that delvers keep pulling up the weirdest shit ever.
Okay, so how much does this run me?
How much are you purchasing?
As mentioned, 25 pounds of general cooking ingredients plus ingredients for a special meal, then 2 weeks of hyena food.
It's going to come you 50 copper for the well, 50 copper, no. I gotta go back to just for general cookery is going to run you about, for 25 pounds, that'll run you about 60 copper for everything considered.
6 silver, yes.
Then you are coming to learn that your hyenas are a little more expensive than horses. Horses usually work at 5 copper a feed per day. These guys run at around 7 copper a feed per day.
They're a little more expensive, but
I can't do math. Can you tell me what that's going to be for 2 weeks?
That's going to be 7 times 14.
98.
It's going to basically be a silver coin.
It's going to be a silver coin?
To feed
Wait.
one of them. So it's going to come to around 2
Yeah,
silver
that's going to
coins.
be more like a gold coin minus 2 silver if it's...
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I mathed wrong myself now.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take let's pay a gold and 6 silver for my food for us and our buddies.
Let's see here.
Huh.
Although hopefully we will have some success hunting on the road and be able to defray the cost slightly with fresh meat.
It would be 1 gold, 9 silver, 6 copper for both hyenas.
Okay, 1 gold, 9 silver, 6 copper.
For both of them.
For how long is that?
That's 2 weeks of feed for your 2 horse-sized hyenas.
So that's...
I'm
2
paying
gold.
for it out of my inventory.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because I've been doing the math on this the whole time, and I have done too much math. If any of you want to reimburse me, help yourself. I will do the math on that too. But
Vellos will reimburse the gold.
Lantern has
So will
decided
Dori.
that.
Dori will give you.
Fiona is just going to give Lantern 10 gold pieces from the wagon fund to help pay for all the provisions she's buying.
okay, she is going to probably immediately spend part of that on, I'm just going to say, general cooking equipment for the wagon, and we'll say it's like cookie sheets and what have you. And she's going to spend probably like 5 silver on miscellaneous whatever.
Okay.
If I'm picking up prices right.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay. Because if you have a budget, you have to use it, because otherwise people will think you don't need your budget and they'll take it away. Lantern read that in a book once.
Thankfully, you guys
Yeah.
don't operate like that, but nobody tell her.
We are happy to help support the cost of keeping everybody and our animals fed.
Everyone here is just seasoned enough of an adventurer to know that Lantern's cooking is so much better than living on hardtack for any amount of time.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Until Lantern discovers that now she can make her own hardtack.
No, she's going to make soft tack. It'll revolutionize everything.
I mean, next time we upgrade the wagon, we might have room to finally make that walk-in fridge. We still have that that cooling sapphire thing.
That is still in Lantern's little treasure trove.
Yes, it is.
Oh my
We
god,
just-
I just had a brilliant idea.
Oh dear.
That's worrying.
I would like to... Can I see if I can find a temperature insulated crate? Or if not, a crate and cheap quilted material?
It would run you extra from a regular crate because it can be.
I'm
insulated.
absolutely. I'm looking for a premium item, ideally upholstered with insulation.
Yes. I just need to find the price of storage items. Ah, here we go. That was quick. No, that was not quick. That's just the carrying capacity of those items.
Yay, logistics.
Day grand.
Yes, actually, it's just when I have to deal with monetary conversions, it's just, man, I'd rather just deal with raw supplies.
Oh.
So an insulated crate would come to around a silver coin, simply due to the cost of insulating it.
Oh, I will happily pay a silver coin for this.
Yes.
And Lantern is giggling to herself with delightful anticipation as she starts arranging the provisions in the crate that is going to keep them cold as soon as she adds the thing that will keep it cold.
That works too. I guess until we get like a dedicated walk-in fridge, like a small room in the cart.
Well, right now what we're going to have is a crate with an upright mounted sapphire in it that is going to be mounted probably using one of her jars or vials just to stand it upright. She might carve a piece of wood or just sort of wood it in place with some beeswax. But either way, she is going to use some sort of expedient, quick, easy securement option and make us a mini fridge.
I'm so glad we kept that thing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yay, refrigeration!
Lantern does ask Vellos to help her carry the crate back to the wagon.
It is pretty easily done.
Bells is
Alright,
more
so
than happy to help.
It cost a silver to send all the letters, you said,
No, per letter.
per letter?
Yeah.
All right, so 2 silvers out for Fiona.
Oh, there's one per
No,
Bellows
2 silver
one. I
per
gotta
letter.
add one
Sorry.
back. Or
Yeah,
2 silver
no.
per. Okay.
Oh, 2 silver per letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, the wagons are all provisioned and everything, and the group's now ready to roll out.
Yep, we are headed
Yep.
for Golden Tide, we decided?
Yes. That
Yes.
seems to be what you guys had planned on.
Yeah, sorry, I was half writing a letter, half listening.
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna stop by Fort Kingsfang on the way to Golden Tide to see if the junction is accessible to the public. If not, we just continue on our way.
Okay. Well, I sent in my letter that I might end up returning home, so we'll see.
All right. And with that, you ride out. The following day, that way you can do things in the morning and aren't having to do that awkward camping out in the middle of the night thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to camp out after we put some distance.
Which it is worth noting, as you are departing a good 2 hours out of the city, you do find a couple of hastily deconstructed campsites. You always find 1 or 2 of those.
Just people in a rush.
Yep.
That's a terrible place to sleep. The wind's going to be in your ear all night long for that angle, observes Lantern as they pass one.
Lantern for
Dori
getting
is-
that our thing.
Is spending most of her time playing. And
Okay.
if people have requests for specific songs or pieces, she will play those first.
Oh, right, Bellows never told Dori what his favorite music is. Not. Then again, whatever he told her would have been in Draconic.
Oh, that's. So she's just going to go ahead and just keep, playing what people like or what they ask for.
For the sake of context, that was essentially telling somebody who only speaks fluently French their preferred music in fluent German.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not sure if you're given a choice or a threat.
All of Lantern's song requests sound a lot like, ooh, you should play that one with the owl and the cat. Or, oh, that one with the really good loop bit that goes do 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 do.
To be fair, Bellows isn't sure how well they would translate to Common. He's never even heard them sung in Common.
Lantern definitely repeats some of the song names that he says in Draconic in Common, and I'm imagining that it's like really intricate ancient Chinese music where it has an incredibly long, flowery name that in Draconic is like 3 syllables. And then Lantern's like, oh yes, that's the 1,000 birds courting the phoenix.
Meanwhile, Draconic is just birdsong.
I mean, one of them's probably about the joy of flight.
I'm sure several of them are about the joy of flight.
Probably.
There are also several of them about... It's not that she actually has jewels for the eyes, I think. I think it's just saying that her eyes are very pretty and sparkly like a jewel would be. But there's a lot of words about that in Draconic songs that I have heard.
Well, moving along, as you travel down the road, travel following the river would be more accurate.
Yeah.
I assume Lantern is one driving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Fiona
Although she's
helping
probably,
navigate.
as usual, giving Fiona helpful hints about hyenas.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
As some other traffic around you seems to, in front of you at the very least, seems to gradually give you a slightly wider berth.
Yeah, can't blame them.
And not just because you're moving faster than everyone else.
Still, it is very nice, because I think maybe it will make people think a second time about stealing from our wagon.
One would hope.
Yeah.
Oh no, did I make Eye Gouger too pretty? I worry that they're not going to be threatened by him.
I left that sentence
Eye
off in the
gouger
middle.
and cupcake.
Yes. Yeah.
Both of whom are, again, absolutely festooned with ribbons. I'm gonna say that, like, out of character, I don't think that makes them less scary at all. I think it may do something else completely.
I just have this image of these two poor hyenas who just look so martyred at all of their ribbons and bows and stuff.
Like anytime you put a sweater on the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Eye Gouger seems to be rolling with it. Cupcake remains uncertain.
It's okay. I give her enough snacky treats. She'll get it. She'll get the idea. I have not found an animal who does not like snacky treats.
Anyway, so first day uneventful. Moving on.
Except for the twice baked potatoes for dinner, of
Oh,
course.
absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Moving on to the second day, however. Would somebody be ballsy enough to roll me a d10?
I'll do it.
Okay.
As we're traveling, Fiona is going to continue to attempt to learn how to handle animals from Lantern.
It wasn't D10, right? Not
Yes.
a D100?
I asked for
Okay.
a d10.
Yeah.
Now I would like a d100 from somebody
Fair enough.
else.
I'll do it.
I'll do
Okay.
it. Okay, you do it.
Okay.
So close.
I know.
Oh well. As Fiona is learning from Lantern, Vellos is ogling the forge. Grigori, where would you be?
Sitting shotgun.
Okay. Probably up on Lantern and Fiona are up front, so I could put you on the roof, kind of leaning over them, as the wagon does have a roof access.
There is ample room on the roof and also a bow mounted there, so
Yes.
always good to
Jack
have
Bell
someone
bow.
up to shoot in case needed.
Yeah, Dori's probably going to hang out up there.
Okay. Bruno, as everyone else seems to be minding their own business, having a good time, You have this unrelated to Dori pang of anxiety in your gut, as if something is wrong, but you can't put a finger on it. Unrelated to Dori.
He starts looking around, trying to figure out what is going on. He even climbs up to the roof carefully and making sure to hold on to try and figure out what the hell's going on.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you look around.
Okay.
You're not seeing anything. There's the light wagon traffic around you that, depending on how Lantern wishes to go, you are slowly outpacing them.
Oh, why would we have a Ferrari if we are not taking it at least to 60?
Well, there you go. Lantern paid for a speedometer. She's going to use the full speedometer.
Good for
A
her.
problem, Bruno?
I don't know. I'm not seeing anything, but just feeling anxiety, and this time it has nothing to do with you.
Wow,
It's-
that's
this
unusual.
is not exactly, which is making it worse.
How does the weather look?
The weather is mildly cloudy. Doesn't look like it's going to rain, but if the light drizzle and Mansque was anything to indicate, it's probably going to stay like this for a little while.
At least we have rain wheels for that.
We do.
Oh my goodness, who are my wet little mud ponies? They're so good. They don't have hooves, so their paws are not slipping on the mud. What good boy and girl. I love them so much.
Not even raining yet.
Yes, but when it is, they'll do so good in the mud because they're so good at the mud because they're good. Yeah, I'm talking to you, eye gouger. You good boy.
Oh, those two are going to be so spoiled.
Do I
Yes,
have
they
to
are.
talk to them like that?
Well, I think it's important for them to know that they're good hyenas and we love them, because hyenas don't just work for food. They mostly work for food, but they also work for food from people who love them.
I mean, or do I have to take that tone of voice when I talk to them?
I think as long as you're gentle, you can be yourself.
Fiona thinks.
Lantern, give me an
Gentle.
animal handling. Fiona, give me your intelligence.
Oh, oh dear.
That's a 3.
It's a 15. So yet again, Lantern is an incredibly competent animal handling coach working for an audience that is somehow distracted by the ribbon-covered hyenas.
Yeah, what Lantern says seems to check out.
Gentle. Can I do that?
I have faith in you. I'm sure you can do it.
That seems to check out just fine.
That's all they want is food from people who love them. You just gotta be gentle. It's fine.
What if they try to bite me?
Well, you should try not to get bit, because their teeth will hurt very, very much.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Like, it already kind of hurts to be bit by a horse, and these guys have much, much bigger, sharper teeth.
Moving on to days 3. Yes, because you left day 1, day 2 was on the road. Moving on to day 3. Somebody
So
else
we're
can
now
do a D10.
into August. I will.
Okay. You got those backwards.
Okay. Yep. 10.
Okay. And can I get a D100 from someone? How's
I can do it.
I'll do it.
Oh, you can, Grigori.
Okay. Ow. Oh.
Ooh.
Excellent rolls.
Nice.
Okay. So as you're traveling along the road, you find yourselves coming across you find yourselves, surprisingly, coming across a wagon that's heading in the same direction as you were heading in. However, the team that was operating the wagon, they don't appear to be a Delver crew. They look like a more typical riding crew. Are just kind of hanging out around it, looking absolutely frustrated. And as you get closer, you come to understand why. 1, they're missing a horse. 2, their front axle should not be doing that.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
And what is that? Well, the passenger wheel seems to be doing a 90-degree angle from the wagon body, and the driver wheel seems to be a good 3 feet away from the wagon, still connected to its half of the axle.
Oh dear.
Ugh.
That's not supposed to look like that.
Yuck.
Indeed.
I think Lantern is going to slow down the wagon and see if she can evaluate whether helping these dudes is within our capacity.
So as you slow down and eventually you do come up, the wagon is painted with the emblazoning of a local trade company, so that's quick to notice. Once you get your eyes off of the axles.
Yeah.
And while somewhat tentative at the sight of your chosen draft animals, the group is happy enough to flag you down.
Hello, you seem to have a problem with your wheels.
Yeah, we kind of, yeah, we do.
What on earth happened?
We found a rock.
Must
Wow.
have been one hell of a rock.
We're going to assume somebody must have dug it up while they were digging their tunnels, but we found a rock.
Yeah.
He grumbles while pinching the bridge of his muzzle. Just the moles need to remember that there is an actual road above the lone links.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm. Where are you guys headed?
We were headed to Fort Kingsfang to do a delivery of, supplies. And we sent ahead one of our guys to with a horse to see if they can spare some wagon repair tools. You guys wouldn't have a spare axle, though, would you?
Spare
How big is
axle?
the broken part?
Least way to fix the broken axle?
How big is the broken part?
Well, she split the 3 pieces.
Oh.
Is the break or tear in the material larger than 1 foot in any direction?
So, to kind of answer your question, he offers you to come over and look under the wagon itself. Wow.
Lantern will always take the opportunity to look under a wagon, so she follows him.
Okay.
Dori will as
Interesting.
well.
Good to know. As he kind of keeps a small, irrespectable distance away from Cupcake and Eye Gouger.
Fiona is going to let those more craftily inclined
Okay.
offer helps for repairs.
Alright. As you get under and look under the axle, what you're seeing is a very bad break. This thing did not split in half. It's splintered in something of a triangular shape between the three axles. And you see the rock they hit is a fairly large, half-buried, kind of jagged-looking piece of stone.
She's going to kind of shake her head and go, that one is beyond me.
I don't think I can mend this, probably. I can probably use mold earth to help you get the carriage out a little bit better, maybe if you have some help pulling it. But I don't think I can fix the actual axle, so I would not really be helping that much.
At the very least, that much would be helpful to get us out from off this rock.
Well, that I can help you with. And Lantern is going to very carefully use as many castings of mold earth as it takes to bail these poor dudes out.
It'll take you about a minute, but that's more due to the math than it is the actual. About split half between the math and the casting. To get the rock kind of covered and pushed aside and the wagon lifted. I shouldn't say the rock covered, but definitely pushed aside along the flow of dirt.
If anybody asks, no, we do not have a maintenance kit on our wagon.
Oh no.
Wait, we didn't get one of those? I thought we did. Oh shit.
I'm gonna tell you, I know for certain Thorn had one. He mentioned it.
Okay.
And I think we probably would have kept that when he left.
Okay.
Okay.
Then yeah, you will have that at least. So you do have a maintenance kit. But do you have
Yeah, it's probably a
repair
lesser one.
supplies?
Yeah.
No.
Probably a... Oh, I have no idea.
Don't maintenance kits. I've suddenly realized don't maintenance kits count as repair supplies.
Probably. Because they come with uses and different
Yes.
costs and different
And
qualities.
those would definitely
Yeah.
be repair supplies. Yeah, you do
Vellos
have repair supplies on hand.
is proficient with Wainwright's tools, so he could help with repairs. And he'll offer to do so.
All right. Well, Fiona will make sure you know where the maintenance kit is then. Dig it out of storage for you.
It is tucked underneath the cabin, so you can either access that by going underneath the cabin of the wagon, or opening up the actual floor hatch.
Vellos is probably still in the wagon for most of this, so he'll just use the floor hatch to bring
Okay.
it out.
Then you pop open the floor hatch, pull out some repair supplies.
Oh, nice.
I see how that works. So, with that, go ahead and as you're settling into help with repairs, go ahead and give me a strength through Wainwright tools.
Not the best. 13.
Alright, that's fine. It's gonna take you a little while longer than usual to help these guys fix up their equipment as somebody else does sit down to help you. Or kind of gets under the wagon to help you.
If we're taking a break, Lantern probably just kind of makes coffee for everyone standing around.
Alright, that's easy enough.
With that, I'm going to remove the about a half sack of coffee that we stole from the necromancers from Lantern's inventory.
You stole their coffee. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yep.
she stole the necro coffee.
Hey, it's free coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And, we have an internal kitchen now. The oven presumably comes with a stove. Lantern can make tea with greater speed and accuracy than ever. And what is coffee but tea that smells amazing?
Fair enough. Actually, no, not fair enough. Technically, it'd be a tisane if you're going that route.
You're right, it would, but I don't think Lantern knows the difference.
Probably not. It's not tea unless it's made with tea tree leaf. Everything else is a tisane. And that's not memeing, that's literally just cooking.
Yeah, no, that literally, tisane is brewed herbs, leaves, fruits, or berries, or vegetables, I think? I don't know. It's some specific classification, but it's basically anything you boil into a tea.
Vegetables, you start entering the territory of broth.
That is fair. I'm sure you can make kale tea.
Yeah, it's mostly in the case of tisanes, it's the case of leaves, herbs, and dried berries. Or flowers, if you want to go that route.
I think roots.
Some roots, yes. Ginger root would be a good example.
You can make licorice and sassafras root tisanes.
Exactly.
Didn't know that was its own thing. Neat.
Yeah.
That delicious lesson aside,
Yeah.
as you get...
You can imagine Lantern reciting all of this from her herbalist guide as she serves coffee.
Herbalist guy probably cracked open off to the side.
Mhm.
As you finish up the repairs, he does... the trade crew does offer you 25 gold compensation for the fix.
I think we will thankfully take that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hey,
Fiona will add it to the wagon fund.
out of curiosity, do you guys know if the junction at Fort Kingsfang is open for use by the public?
It's usually saved for licensed traders, Dungeon Brigade, military, and I believe on the weekends it is available for Delver usage.
Huh. That is good to know. Thank you.
Actually, as long as we're all working together this way, other than Vellos here, have any of y'all seen a silver dragon?
A couple, now that I think about it. Any more description than that?
Young woman. Beyond
Not
that, I
silver,
don't
no,
know.
sorry.
Damn. Yeah, she would have had
Last dragoness I can think of that falls under young woman is the green who runs a jewelry shop over in Gossier.
Oh yeah, we met her.
Definitely wince at that.
Yeah, no, not her. This would have been a young silver.
Sorry, I can't help you there then.
Damn, worth a shot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks though.
Glad we were able to help.
We'll go ahead and just get our own horse tied on in. We won't be moving that quick, but that's fine.
Gonna follow in the footsteps of your guy that went ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, if we pass by them, we'll let them know we got you guys on your way.
That would be great.
You guys notice Lantern is in fact what I would refer to as hyping up the hyenas, giving them little tidbits, informing them of what a great job they have done so far and what a great job she knows they will do in the future, etc.
Give me animal handling.
Those two are going to be so very spoiled.
But so very loyal.
Mm-hmm.
True. Can't argue that.
Nope.
Lantern?
I've accidentally pressed the wrong one of the wrong fucking either control or V wrong.
Oops.
Oh no.
Thank God. Okay, 21. Sorry, I was trapped in a prison of my own creation.
Yes, you have hyped them up, but they've become unstable in that hyping up.
Well, that's what the food is, to get them, you know,
If not for the
stabilized.
if not for the fact that the yolk is fixed vertically, they'd be doing little bounces.
They're gonna be so fast. I love these guys. She continues sweet talking them about what good hyenas they are, how fast and good they are, and how she has so many miscellaneous chicken parts for them later. As she gets back up into the driver's seat.
Okay.
Fiona is watching this and seeing how effective it is.
Dori's climbing back up onto the roof.
Fiona, you might be a little concerned at how excited Lantern has gotten them.
Is she though?
I don't know.
If they're gonna go very fast, it sounds like it could be very exciting.
That's true. That's true.
Fiona's an adrenaline junkie. She's the one least worried about what her Lantern is doing.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Fiona, you might be delighted.
Yes. Like I said, she is looking at how effective what Lantern is doing. This is very effective. How exciting.
Hey guys, we are going to be going very, very quickly, so you should probably make sure you were back on the wagon before that time, thanks.
And off goes the giggle ponies.
Maximum gallop.
Okay. A little faster than expected, but off you go.
Whee!
Noom.
Eventually, Fort King's Fane does come into view, as notably are the non-dungeon but proper Elementian-built walls and towers come into view.
It's almost weird seeing one that wasn't made by a dungeon.
Yep,
And
and
you see those all the time around
Fiona
your
will
cities.
be Yeah, Fiona will be pointing out the differences for Lantern and how they differ from a dungeon, so she can understand.
It makes sense because a person has to actually decide to put a block there. And if it's a block that big, he probably needs like 2 or 3 other guys helping, or maybe enlarge spell.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Gonna do that here.
And in a dungeon, it doesn't matter how anything works because nobody knows how anything works, so it can be like anything.
Exactly. Which is why they don't make sense. But with an actual proper built wall, you can see the logic behind each piece.
I'm glad the recipe was good, because if what you're saying is true, there was a real risk that it was just a bunch of randomly decided ingredients put in a recipe format.
The dungeon spitting out
That
AI
would have
generated
been
recipes.
Yes, she is worried about ChatGPT invading the dungeon.
Anyways, you are stopped a distance away by. Well, first off, you did actually pass by the guy returning back and did inform him of the news.
Woohoo!
But also, you
Hey,
are
we helped
also-
you guys fix their wagon. They're on their way.
Yeah, basically.
As we rapidly vanish into the distance.
With a what the hell was that?
Bunch of speedy hyenas is what it was.
Eventually, you are actually, however, stopped by actual fort patrols. Armored horse, armored rider, with a lance that has the banner of Alamance on it. You know the style of lance.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Well, he looks official, so if he's signaling us to stop, Lantern will do so.
At the very least, to slow down significantly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, well.
You've entered a school
The ride
zone
was
and are
fun
being
while it
ticketed.
lasted.
No, just kidding.
Oh, no.
The knightly figure is unfazed by the kind of mounts you have as he pulls up beside you.
Hello, Mr. Knight. Do you need
Hello,
something
sir.
from us?
Just needing to know what your business is and where you are headed. As you are
Oh,
approaching
we're-
the outliers of Fort Kingsfang.
We are delvers, and our business is delving, and where we are going is Golden Tide.
Okay.
Hometown, Fiona will say, raising her hand.
Ah, okay. And the name of your crew heading through?
Dungeon
we are
rollers.
the Dungeon Rollers.
Okay, dungeon rollers. As he kind of you see him shift how he's riding to try and look inside the window of your wagon to see what else is with you.
Is there something specific you're looking for, sir?
Just taking note of everybody who's on board.
Oh, do you need us to tell you about the people who we have? I can do that.
Yes. As you are the second crew I've seen named Dungeon Rollers, but you clearly appear to be a much different team.
Wait, there's another crew. Oh.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
There are only so many names that are funny and make sense.
Fair point now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well, our Dungeon Rollers group has a silver dragon. This is Fiona will say, pointing to Vellos.
Okay, that's going to make you stand out significantly. Did you know
We also have a bat.
and a bat. Well, aren't you an exciting group? A bat, a kobold, and a dragon. Are you hiding a jackal anywhere in there?
No, as far as we know.
I wrote a letter to a jackal once.
Unfortunate.
I gather you're looking for a jackal.
No, that was more of my own curiosity.
Oh,
Fair enough.
no,
He
no
says,
jackal.
before taking back on a more professional demeanor.
Yeah. Plus, in addition to what you've already named, you've got a rabbit, a fox, and a rat.
Okay, rabbit, fox, rat, kobold, bat, dragon, dungeon rollers. as he pulls out a small notepad and writes down this information. Heading towards Golden Tide. Okay. The moment your best option will probably be to head straight towards Golden Tide from Fort Kingsfang. I will accompany you to permit traveling through the road that goes through Fort Kingsfang.
It sounds like we are not to be allowed to stop at Fort Kingsfang. Am I correct?
Presently, no.
Understandable.
Thank you for telling us.
Well,
Moment I recommend.
Is there something going on we should be concerned about?
Yes, the path between Patry and Golden Tide is presently closed due to a wildfire that broke out that is in the means of being contained, so.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, my
Okay.
parents haven't mentioned anything about that. It must be pretty recent.
It is. We are given our direct connection to Patry. We try to keep track of that information regularly. So,
That is good to know.
yes, it is.
No.
I hope
you
everyone
wanted
at
to head
home is
to-
okay.
knowing that you said you were heading to Golden Tide, we are not. I'm advising against going in that route.
Okay.
alright.
Okay.
The fire is also somewhat closer to Patry, so it's not a concern.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Fiona looks immediately relieved.
The traders who broke down the road, we helped them repair their wagon. They should be on their way.
Good. We've been needing. Good. We've been waiting for them. We were a little worried when they sent their own rider over.
We got their wagon unstuck and fixed their wheel.
Excellent.
Axel, but yeah.
While we're talking to you, have you seen another silver dragon in this region recently?
I've seen a couple. There's the artificer that comes through here from time to time.
He's my brother.
Small world.
This one. True. This one would actually be our sister. Younger female. Has probably carrying around a very loud brethren curio.
Nothing's ringing a bell there.
Damn. Oh, worth a shot. Thank you.
Of course. Of course. He says as he kind of guides you along to help. He signals for you guys to move to a more normal riding pace.
Oh, yeah, no, Lantern isn't going to try to race if there's a guy trying to keep up with us. That's just rude.
Yeah, as he basically accompanies you through the fort, basically through one road and out to the other side of the fort. Along which the road is... You don't really get to see much of the operations inside from what you go by. You can tell you're led through more or less what could be considered housing and a small store. Like an RX kind of thing. Or PX, I forget what it's called. Might be an RX.
PX, I think.
Regardless, you are let through and sent back along your way as he basically drops off his notes about your crew to his captain as he's going through.
Lantern waves in a friendly manner to any gawkers, which I am assuming there are probably a few if we have a bat on our roof and a silver dragon leaning out the window.
You were given a few quick looks before professionality is once again kind of given.
They still get a friendly wave.
And with that, you are continuing along your way. You do, however, get a chance, as you're going by, to see the junction gate. Which is a large, opalescent, just rectangular block with a shimmering, rippling surface.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And
Oh, so that's what one of those looks like.
periodic, and on what you can call scheduled timing, either patrols or trade wagons leave through one side or enter through the other. Simply just coming out through what appears to be a solid surface or going inside of.
Lantern does actually slow down slightly more than she already was in order for her to be able to gawk at it. Because, everyone's had a great time gawking at us. Now it's our turn to gawk. But she does keep moving because she gets the impression that lingering might get someone to concernedly walk up and ask us why we are doing that.
Probably. Even though you are being guided through.
But she does slow down a little bit to stare at it, but not so much that it would annoy our escort.
Yes.
Enough that it's understandable for anyone's first time seeing a junction gate.
Yep. And with that, you are back out the other side and moving along your day.
Cool.
Without so much as a tour.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, not so much, but
It
what
is-
you're gonna do.
It is an active facility, and you get the feeling the only reason you are given the shortcut through is because you're a Delver, rather than being instructed to go around.
Mm.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
Looks like I'll be able to see folks after all.
What was that?
Fiona says, looks like I'm gonna be able to see my folks after all.
Yeah.
I hope my letter gets to them before we get there. Probably not, though.
We are making very good time because we have very good animals. Says
Yeah.
Lantern, very smug.
The animals might freak out the town, everyone in town, though.
Probably not. They are very good. And also, I decorated them, so they are less scary now.
I don't think anyone's ever seen a hyena before, let alone one this large. A pair this large.
Well, they are going to have a wonderful opportunity ahead of them then.
They certainly will.
Fiona grimaces.
I would love an opportunity to see a hyena as beautiful as you. Good boy, eye gouger.
Fiona doesn't bother to attempt to correct Lantern, but she does grimace a little bit at her optimism.
It's less optimism and more absolute full-spirited conviction that because of how much she enjoys these animals, everyone else must therefore enjoy these animals exactly as much. Which I'm pretty sure if any of you have met like more than maybe 5 dog owners, you know exactly what I am talking about.
Yep.
As a dog owner, yes.
Anyways, moving on to what is now the first day out of Kingsfang.
Yep.
30 miles away, or
Second.
60 miles to Golden Tide. Who dares to give me a D10?
I will.
Okay.
I gotta be right back.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
3.
Very interesting.
That's worrying.
Somebody else give me a D10.
A D10? I
Yes.
can. 5.
Despite it being August, you notice a chill in the air as you look up and see thicker clouds start to roll in.
Whoa. Would Fiona be able to predict how long we have before it starts to storm?
Be a nature check.
All right. Trait roll. 9. No. Probably not.
Given your upbringing in Golden Tide, you could probably say it might rain, it might not rain.
There's a 50-50 chance it'll rain today.
But what you
Fiona
do
says,
know,
eyeing the clouds.
what you do know is that given the way those clouds look like, if it rains, it's going to rain.
But if those clouds break, it's gonna get wet fast. I mean, fast.
Yep.
Like waterfall fast.
She'll look over
Luckily-
at Grigori. Dori will look over at Grigori and say, yeah, we want to be ready to get back into the wagon fast.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It is threatening rain. There's a 50-50 chance it'll rain, but when it does, if it does, it will be the heavy kind of rain.
Well, then it is very good that I am waterproof and we have mud tires.
Yep.
Fiona is going to ask if anyone can give her a tarp in case it does rain. Because she is not waterproof.
Poor Fiona. And really everyone else that's not waterproof.
Lantern has scales, and she is also inside her cloak carrying the all that we have left of the fire dust stuff.
Yes. That you guys have never used.
Lantern uses it constantly. It's just she doesn't use it for what you think it's for. She uses it effectively like a pocket warmer.
You haven't used it in any way that would consume any of it.
No, she mostly puts it under the pillow she sleeps on.
Right, that works.
Okay. About halfway through your ride, so about 3 or 4 hours along the road, the clouds finally give in, and comes forth the downpour.
Yep. Dori dives into the wagon.
Vellos takes one look outside, like, probably not going to do much foraging in this.
It is okay. I will try to forage. But not now, because I'm driving the cart.
Yes, please do not forage right now.
It would be very hard to do both things at once.
Incredibly so.
You are thankfully not having issues navigating this, as you are, well, between not driving with hooved animals and your alchemical rain wings or rain wheels, reacting with the water to create a more stable ride, allowing you to maintain at speed, essentially floating atop the mud.
If we do get to a point in the weather where Lantern is concerned about the stability of the ride, she will pull over. But as long as we have rain wheels, she is going to sing a off-kilter little nonsense song about raindrops and keep driving.
I mean, that is an
Well,
option.
That was definitely. These were definitely one of the better
Yeah.
fittings.
This is-
Very
I love
useful.
most of the things we have gotten, but I think this is my favorite thing that we have gotten.
Yeah,
We have
Very
gotten a
glad
practical, and we have gotten a defensive.
I'm very glad that we thought ahead to get these.
Yep.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so we got Lantern. Who else? Anybody else looking outside or riding along while or riding up front, I should say.
That would be
Fiona
me.
was, and I think we're.
Go ahead.
I think you were on the roof.
Yes.
I think we have a cover on the roof.
Yes. Alright, well, from Lantern and one other person, could I get a perception check?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Ooh, 16 is good.
Yeah.
That is a natural one from Lantern, so she might be distracted by how happy she is about the rain wheels to notice anything.
At this
you're
point,
too distracted
Fiona
by the
is-
rain in your face.
And Fiona is too busy keeping Lantern on the road.
It tastes so delicious though, and you keep, you gotta
Okay.
open your mouth to get the rain, but if you do too much, then you get too much. It's just a problem.
Okay, Grigori, with your 16 in perception, you do, through a squint in your view off to the side of the road, you see some kind of movement indicative of something subterranean.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna point at it and tap, or not tap, but tell Leonard just something over there. I'm gonna point at it.
Ooh, hold on, let me. And she is going to take off her cloak in order to wipe her face with it, and without sticking her face out into the rain as she has been, she's going to try to get a look at what he's pointing at.
Give me a perception check. Since you net one to that one earlier.
That's a 12.
With a
Better.
little bit of looking, you're able to see what's being pointed out. Anyone else?
Fiona will look since she is outside.
Okay.
Since she's sitting next to Lantern. Am I also doing a perception?
Yeah.
I think based on seeing any movement, I am going to start pulling the wagon over.
That's fair.
Ideally on a slope, aiming like not in a chasm or valley.
Fiona being directed where to look gets a 21.
Fiona, you're able to see it quite clearly, and you're kind of able to pick up. You've seen this kind of underground movement before. With whatever it is coming quickly towards the surface.
Something's about to break the ground. Come out. Don't know what it is yet, but it's it's familiar. Like something's about to surface.
Oh boy.
And
Lantern's gonna pull over before she readies Moonbeam.
Allison's getting on to the roof. Rain be damned. If it's a fight, he's gonna be ready.
And as you're moving to get up on the roof, and as Lantern, you're moving to prepare Moonbeam, the ground breaks open in several places at once. As chitin-covered, six-legged reptilian beasts, ones you've become uncomfortably familiar with, break through the ground with a hacking, coughing, frustrated sputtering of their own.
Oh no.
They're getting flooded out by the rain.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Yep.
In your own ability to look at things, they look as drenched and miserable as anybody else who'd get flooded out or caught in the rain.
Oh,
Fiona readies her sling because stones are easy to replace.
They kind of are, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Dori's
don't do as much
climbing-
damage, but they're still kind of on the wagon at the moment, so.
Yeah, Dory's climbing up back up under the roof and grumbling about the fact that she has to be out in the rain.
Okay,
Going to
Cupcake
ready
and
the,
Eye Gouger, you protect the wagon.
and she's
And
going
yourselves.
to be there for the railgun.
Okay. So, positioning. I need to get you guys' positioning.
I am sitting in the driver's seat of the wagon, staring at the moonbeam zone.
Well, I know you are.
Fiona was on the
Your shotgun.
passenger seat. Yeah, shotgun.
Just trying
Next
look
to Lantern.
For, my pens. There they are.
She has her sling ready.
Just- Okay, so for the sake of being on the road. Okay, so as the party pulls over. So for context, here is the road in question. You guys are in your wagon, which we denoted, pulled off to the side of the road here.
Yeah, probably about that far off so I could get some slightly higher ground.
As a reminder, the interior of the wagon is larger, but we'll worry about that headache
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Dori, you're up top.
Mhm.
Lantern, you're here. Fiona, you're here. Vellos, where were you?
on the roof.
Alright, you're here. I know Grigori is also on the roof. Bruno, location? Bruno?
Bruno?
You on mute?
Sorry, Bruno would be
Bruno?
at the back door.
Okay, so down here. Just keep in mind you're on the bottom. I'm going to grab a stand-in for you, Grigori. When I have a chance, we'll go over our options for getting you a model later. Something I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Where did I put that? You ever find yourself looking at something? You were just looking at it, then it vanishes.
Yes.
All the
Constantly.
time.
Yep.
It is the worst.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Got yours temporary stand-in. So as you guys are over there, your friends, as you've come to know and love them. Okay, maybe platonically, but that's beside the point.
Fiona loves to beat them up.
Like I said, platonically. Are breaking out of the ground through this area here.
Ooh, there's one of the big ones with them.
Yes. And you're not sure if that's muck it's puking out or something that solidifies. But it's just not happy either way you want to look at it.
Well, you're the ones who decided to attack in the rain. It's your own damn fault.
Are you sure they're attacking? Given the distance between you and them? Okay, that's the
I
battle.
don't know.
Get the feeling you're about to ask us to roll initiative.
You know, that would be a very, very wise notion. I'm just going to put these here because I'm going to have to wipe this off after sesh. Keep it from sticking.
Yep.
That's the least worst
Oh,
I've rolled on initiative in a while.
Well, it's good. I do need an early initiative this time.
Oh. Good for
Dang,
Vellos.
Bruno, you nailed it.
And I actually wanted high today.
Ooh.
Hey, Fiona, we're number buddies.
Yay!
Hey.
I love being buddies.
And then Grigori.
Yeah, I'm looking for my initiative bonus if I have
That
one.
will be on
It's
right under your hit
lower
points.
tab, right where it says initiative.
Okay, so 4. Okay. Okay. So I just do the 1d20 plus 4, right?
Yes.
Make sure I got that. Like that. Hey, there we go.
Ouch.
Unfortunate.
It's alright, he might be suffering a little bit of trauma from these guys.
I mean, aren't all of you?
No!
Alright.
I mean, most of us are annoyed by them. Most of us didn't have
Yeah.
our entire crews get eaten in front of us.
This is true.
True, true.
Just for my own sake of differentiating things.
Yay, hats.
This one is thankfully different from those three, but okay. Let's go ahead and get their initiatives out. That's embarrassing. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and start with 25 to 20.
Bruno.
Sorry. I'm currently eating my dinner, so I keep muting myself. 21.
21, okay. All right.
Oh dear.
19 to 20.
19.
18.
18.
I believe Fiona goes first.
Yeah, I think she has higher
Yeah,
dex. I have a +3.
I have a +4.
There you go.
Okay. 15 or 14 to 10.
I have a 13. Yeah, 13.
Okay. 13. Nine to 5.
Gregory.
Nine
You
to
got an
five.
8.
Do what now?
Your initiative.
Your initiative.
Initiative roll.
What do you mean my
What
initiative roll?
was your initiative roll?
Oh, what was it?
Yes.
It was an 8.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm listing everyone's initiative in order. I make
Yeah,
note of it
sorry.
so I can keep track on the initiative correctly. Okay. All right, with everyone's favorite thing taken care of, let's go ahead and take things from the top with a good stretch to start with. All right. Now then, we'll be starting off with our big six-legged friend here.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh dear.
Who, through the rain of it all, does take notice of your own party's shouts to get ready. Shouts drawing of blades, and is going to go ahead and move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that would do well enough. And it's going to go ahead and... Alright, and it's going to go ahead and make its ranged attacks onto... All of you except for Bruno are on the roof or outside, so I got choices.
Choices.
Yes, I do. I have choices. And I've put away my curse. I've put away the cursed D5. How did it get buried so deeply? Yep, that's buried. Okay, we'll just roll a D10. Okay, that's going to be on Fiona with 2 ranged attacks.
Okay.
That's a miss.
Darn.
Yep, that's just a miss.
Both of them?
No, I not one. I was just confirming things. 16? Or
That
sorry, no.
is still a miss.
Okay.
I've got an AC of 17.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. That's going to move things over to Bruno.
All right. Bruno, because he didn't do so beforehand, is going to cast Aid on himself, Dori, and Fiona.
Okay. What level?
Second level.
All right. Please make a note of what your original HP is, because Aid increases your max HP and gives you that much extra health.
Yep.
Who's he casting it on?
Fiona, Dori, and himself.
Okay. And how much temp HP do I get? 5?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, I thought you said, okay, that's right.
This is a boost to your max. Aid is a boost to your maximum HP.
Yep.
So please make a note of the fact that you're under the effect of Aid, so we're not having what happened last time.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Yep. That's his action. He doesn't really have any bonus actions he can do.
Okay.
Well, he has one, but it doesn't have any use. So
we're gonna go ahead and move things over to.
I didn't say movement.
Oh, sorry. Please keep in
For
mind.
movement, yeah, he's going to open the door and try and move out without being too visible.
In order to make a stealth check, you'll need to use your action.
He's not bothering with stealth. He's basically just trying to, if the door opens so that it's in between him and them, perfect. If not, he goes around it. He's not trying to stealth.
Okay, I see what you mean. Just please be advised, you're walking through muddy terrain, so it is considered rough.
Okay.
If you want to move at your full speed, you can give me a strength check.
Right now, he's not worrying about that. Right now,
Okay.
he's worrying about being able to see them while still having cover.
Not a Given the fact that you have to climb down out of the wagon, that's not really going to be an option.
The wheels can give him some cover.
You'll have to go under the wagon for that.
Not the other side.
No, because the wheels are on the sides of the wagons. They're not sticking out from the wagon.
So if he has the wagon in between him and them, he doesn't get any cover.
Okay, I see. So you want to stand, like, right here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just so you are aware that unless you are on the ground, you are basically total cover, so you can't see them, they can't see you. You have a wall between you and them. And you also have a wall between you and your party, functionally speaking.
Oh, yeah, because they're all on the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about the issue with casting for the roof, so he'd actually make his way up instead of out.
Okay, so you are on the roof then. And it is
Yeah,
now
so I'll move
up
on to
here.
the roof. Yeah. So that'll end his turn.
Okay. Okay, then that's going to go ahead and take things over to Fiona.
Okay. Well, everything's still pretty far away.
Yes.
About how far away are they?
From you, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. From that guy. The terrain is rough. The weather is light obscurement. Due to heavy rain.
Vellos?
What was that?
Did we skip Vellos?
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. We did skip you. I'm trying to sort out that turn Fiona gave me, or that question Fiona gave me. Yeah, no, Vellos, it is your turn. It would be 45 feet from that one for you.
Okay. Vellos can still fly in this weather, right?
Half speed.
Oh, wow.
Heavy rain.
It's raining that hard.
It's raining enough to have flooded these guys out and to obscure vision.
You can only fly that well because you're an aquatic dragon.
That's not quite how that works, but okay.
If it was that kind of weather, I would be concerned for the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, oh, okay. This guy is like 45 feet away, so we are going to cast Sacred Flame on the big guy, I think.
Okay, Sacred Flame, spell save.
Dex save needs to beat a 15.
Okay.
That
is going to be a 17.
Passes. And I think we're going to. We'll stay where he'll stay where he is for now. Let them come a little closer first.
Okay. Then that's going to bring things over to Fiona.
Okay. So the maximum range for the sling is 120, so he is at least within that.
Yes.
So even if I'm slinging stones at him at disadvantage, I will attempt to sling a stone at him.
That's fair.
All right. Just because she's not going to run out into the middle of the wet, muddy ground when there's only one big guy there at the moment. Might as well, again, like Vellos was thinking, let them get a little bit closer. 1d6. Oh, no, not drop lowest one, keep lowest one.
KL1, not DL.
Yep, KL1, not DL1. So I was double checking before I hit enter. Does a 16 hit it?
Sling for the big guy.
Yeah.
16 does not hit. It just kind of you manage to basically plink a rock right off its chitinous hide. It seems more annoyed,
All right.
like if it could talk, it would question your choice of a rock with all the other options you have.
Well, my only other option is a dart, and that's 60 feet. So
that's fair.
With my extra attack, I can do 2 shots, right?
Yes. Unless it's a
she's gonna
reloading
sling
weapon.
I don't think a sling is a reloading weapon.
Then yes.
A dirty 20.
That'll hit.
All right. Eight points of bludgeoning damage. And that is why she's slinging stones at you, my good sir.
The first one plinks off, then you hear a crack and just ow.
You fire spikes at me, I throw stones at you.
Rude. Lantern, your turn.
So normally I try to get 2 guys in the moonbeam. That ain't happening today.
No.
So
probably not.
What I am going to do is right on the big guy, just like right directly on him, I would like to cast Moonbeam at 3rd level.
Okay.
Fuck him in particular.
Sometimes you got a big ugly guy and you want the biggest, ugliest guy to kindly make a Constitution saving throw, and I think that's beautiful.
There we go. Alright, Constitution saving throw. That is going to be a 14.
Just passes, but that still takes half damage. Ooh. I rolled really badly on damage, and that will be 3 radiant damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's close.
Something or another.
Well, it's 3 HP he had before I cast it that he doesn't have now, so I'm going to say that that's a brilliant success, actually. And while I'm saying it's a brilliant success, I'm going to go to the other side of the wagon, maybe, like the one that doesn't have monsters on it.
You're going to hop down and move over here.
And, yeah, I think... Actually, you mentioned earlier hiding beneath the wagon?
Yes.
I would like to do that, please.
Okay. Alright, I'll just make a note that,
That I am under the wagon.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
That's going to take things over to Dori.
Okay, Dori's over at the railbow. She's going to load up a crossbow bolt and aim it at the big guy.
Alright, go ahead and give me a disadvantaged roll.
Disadvantaged. Okay.
Obscurement from the weather.
Okay. So 16.
Not quite.